So far we have gone through syntax details with respect to pandas and polars. Even though the syntax is not same, it is strikingly similar. Now when it comes to Spark, the syntax is completely different. It is not related to either pandas or polars. Even the way you start is completely different. You cannot directly use functions when it comes to Spark. First you have to create something called as Spark session object, then you have to take it forward. Even for this notebook, make sure you configure right Python virtual environment before running the code. First thing is you need to make sure you import Spark session. Using Spark session, you have to create an object. In this case, the object name is nothing but session. It is of type Spark session. You can see here. Let's run this. It will take care of creating the session object. Keep in mind, I'm not going into quite a lot of details here with respect to Spark because this is not Spark course. In case if you wanted to learn Spark, we have other courses. Feel free to follow up with us. We will provide the details of Spark course. That being said, now let's move forward. When it comes to reading the data on top of session object, we have attribute called as read. It is not a function, it is attribute. It is of type DataFrame reader. Using this DataFrame reader attribute in Spark session, you have to invoke functions like CSV to read CSV data. Here to CSV, you have to pass the path of the file. It can be relative path or it can be fully qualified path. In this case, I have passed relative path. On top of it, to ensure it understand that the file have header, you have to say header equal to true. To ensure the data types are picked correctly, you have to say inferSchema equal to true. These are not required when it comes to pandas or polars. When it comes to pandas and polars, they assume the files have header and also they infer schema by themselves. Now, when I say infer schema, you might have a question about what it actually means. When it comes to a data frame contains multiple columns. Some of the columns might have numeric values such as integer, float, etc. Some of the columns might be string. Now, when I say infer schema is the default, pandas and polars will actually infer integer or float columns as integer or float. When it comes to our car sales data, we have something called as sale price. It have float numbers. Hence, the data type will be float if it is pandas or polars because infer schema is default. But when we use session.read.csv, by default infer schema is not enabled in Spark, which means the sale price will be interpreted as strings by default. To ensure infer schema is enabled, you have to say infer schema equal to true while invoking CSV. Now let's run this. You can see it ran successfully. Let's get the count. You can see there are 5000 records. I am not 100% sure whether Spark data frames have something like shape, which will give both number of records as well as number of columns. But you can use count to get number of rows when it comes to Spark data frame. You should be able to preview the data using show. Even head works, I guess, but show is more appropriate when it comes to showing first few records in the Spark data frame. Now comes filtering the data. Similar to polars, Spark also have a function called as filter. The way you can pass the argument is like this. There are multiple ways to pass. This is one of the ways. Here also I am taking state as input. Let me say FL and then hit enter. It ran as per the expectations. Now let's get the count. You can see the count is nothing but 538. You can again preview the data by saying state_sales.show. You can see the details as per the expectations. In case if you just wanted to see details about sale ID, sale date and state, then you should be able to come up with code like this. You can say state_sales, then select. As part of the select, you can specify the columns you are interested in. In this case, I am interested in sale ID, then sale date. On top of these two, state. You can see the data as per the expectations. State sales contains only data related to Florida. As we have gone through the details about how to filter the data, now it is time for us to perform the aggregation, grouping the data by state. First, you need to import these functions. These functions are available under PySpark.sql.functions. Let me run this. Now all the 4 functions are imported. On top of car sales, which is our original data frame, we can invoke group by to group the data by a given column or given columns. Keep in mind B is capital here. Then you should be able to specify one or more columns. In this case, I have specified state. On top of group by, you can invoke ag similar to pandas or polars. You can specify the logic to actually compute the total sales. In this case, I have said round off sum of sale price comma 2, which means data will be aggregated. On top of aggregated data, the decimals will be rounded off to 2 decimals. And then we have dot alias total underscore sales, which means for this expression, the derived column name is nothing but total sales. On top of total sales revenue, we also have the logic to get the sales count. In this case, I have used a function called as count. The column which is passed is sale price. Ideally, we should be passing the primary key column, which is sale ID, but our sale price doesn't have any null values. Hence, even sale price will work without any issues. When it comes to count of sale price, the alias is nothing but sales count. Now let me clean this up a little bit. Let me run this first. And then let me get the count. You can see the count here. Now let's use show to preview the data. I'm saying sales by state dot show. You can see the outcome. When it comes to total sales, it is actually using scientific notation, but I wanted to see real float numbers. For that purpose, we should be able to say sales by state dot to pandas. This is one of the ways where we can format our output a little bit better. Now let's run this and you can see the outcome. There might be alternate ways as well. As we have gone through the details about how to perform aggregations, now it is time for us to explore how to sort the data in PySpark. Taking a data frame, you should be able to use either order by or sort. If you use order by, make sure B is capital. Even sort will work without any issues. For order by or sort, you have to specify the column name using which you wanted to sort the data in ascending or descending order. In this case, you can use a function called as call to consider the string as column, and then you can invoke DESC to sort the data in descending order. On top of this logic, we have said to pandas so that floating data is formatted properly. Now let's run this and you can see the outcome as per the expectations. The data is sorted in descending order by total sales. That being said, we have gone through the syntax about pandas, polars as well as PySpark. Now it is time for us to generate test data where the data volume is much bigger than 5000 records, and then we will actually go through the details about comparing the performance between these 3 libraries, which are nothing but pandas, polars as well as PySpark. On top of these details, we will also see how the distributed databases that are available fit in the data processing. That way, things are a lot more clear for you to decide what to be used when.